There should be like documentaries on this nigga. That's why we not lit, because we
got lore stories.
We don't champion our stories.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we can. I don't know if that documentary would be like championing him. I mean, it would, but the ending of his story is pretty diabolical.
Gruesome.
Yeah, so I don't know if we want to put that in video because you have.
I don't think you can put that in the video, but ultimately we should be telling our stories and championing them because, like,
but also
bad or good, like.
Let's say we don't have a lot of. We don't have like our stories aren't the best stories in terms like we have.
But
they are ours, but they're not putting us in a great light,
bro. Walt Disney came from Kansas City, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have chronicles that we need to be telling ourselves, not just like a footnote, like in Casino.
Yeah,
it was like, oh yeah,
in Kansas City
was the farthest west you could go, right?
Yeah.
Well, shit, what about all that time that was spent in Kansas City when it was the farthest place to go?
You couldn't go past Kansas City to Vegas.
Huh?
So like they couldn't go past Kansas City unless they were going to Vegas. Yeah. But even then, the mobsters didn't go to
What about the times when Vegas didn't exist?
Oh, yeah.
When Kansas City was the farthest west you could go.
We just need to care more.
What about that time?
I feel like
I think with stories, especially with the direction the city's heading in now, I don't think the city wants to highlight those stories.
But I think like it would. But it would help.
People outside of Kansas City are curious as to what this is even about. I think the more eyes on Kansas City, the more that shit will.
Are they though?
There's definitely more eyes on Kansas City.
Do you think people are curious?
But are they curious to know about the history of Kansas City, or are they just fans of Patrick Mahomes?
I think it comes with both.
Because we don't really have like a legacy similar to Chicago or New York or LA.
We don't. You know why?
Because we're not telling it.
Literally, bro. There's been shootouts at Union Station with.
Didn't the Valentine's Day Massacre happen here?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Union Station. That's where the Valentine's Day Massacre happened.
Like, bro,
it's a dark history.
Funny.
We got stories.
It's not funny, but it's similar. It's kind of funny to me how that was considered a massacre when, like, I think only 3 people died, which is pretty light work or like a regular day.
The minimum entry for a massacre, at least 3 people
nowadays.
Right? Yeah.
Really? I'm so used to school shootings that I'm like, that's a massacre.
Oh, fuck. That's dark as fuck.
Womp, 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 womp.
Hey, man, welcome to America. What do you want me to say? Like,
no,
yeah,
that's why I said
you got a point.
That's standard, you know?
We can just tell our
it's
history,
thing,
even though it's darker if it's not. But I don't know if people would care, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I would care.
Like, I think only people in Kansas City would care. Like, maybe Fat Tone has a name outside the city a little bit, but I'm not even sure how far that goes. Maybe because he has a name because he had problems with Mac Dre.
Why do you think people care about the war in Chirac and the artists that have come from that?
Because like that was the hot city at the time.
You have so many artists that come from there,
and we don't have a gang of artists that are just catching fire right now because of street shit. Not on the level that they were. Like Chief Keef blew the fuck up, and then that just naturally made everyone around him hot too. But
we don't have people cataloging the stories of the artists that are making things.
But do we have rappers that are also that talented as the Chicago crop was during that time?
There were niggas that were getting reported on that weren't even rappers that were just getting down.
In Chirac?
In Chirac.
I mean, yeah, because they're around the rappers. But like everybody that was popping in Chicago in 2012 was like famous because they made good music, but they're also part of like this Chirac scene happening in Chicago.
I think it goes in tandem, bro. I think it works in both ways. I think that there needs to be the people that tell the stories and continuously do so, and then the artists making music.
See, you know what? We need a caviar documentary.
We do.
See, like that's something I think a lot of people would be interested to see, because like that collective is so huge in terms of, like, who was in it and what those artists went to go do down the road. And I think that's something that we should document. Bro, that I think would be interesting to people outside of the city.
There needs to be a strange music documentary. Oh, I got a close up on your face. God damn. No, there definitely does need to be one. There does.
I mean,
there should, not does.
I would like to see a Tech 9 documentary. I'll do that.
I don't even know if people want to.
I'll meet you halfway.
Yeah. I don't know. Take the strange out, leave Tech there.
I don't know.
I'll do. I mean, I'm only saying that because outside of Tech 9 and Chris Calico, of course, and I'll give
Chris Calico got an Apple commercial.
You right? Hey, you know what? Let me shut up then.
Chris Calico got an Apple commercial.
Hey, hold on.
Apple
Listen,
commercial.
don't
try
downplay
to Apple.
don't discredit that.
Hey, don't downplay Apple.
This is Chris Calico, and Chris Calico isn't as popular as Tech-9 is. So for him to get a look like that, that's pretty huge for him.
That's amazing.
And I'm pretty sure
that's Kansas City.
Oh, actually,
we just don't
and you
got
know what?
The love like that, bro. It's sad.
And check it out. So
we
I did.
Don't got it.
I did the morning show with Chris Calico in like 2019 for like a week straight. For like a week straight, right?
We don't got the love. I remember one time I was at Overland Park. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you good.
I was at Overland Park Mall.
The story.
Overland Park Mall, and Tech-9 was in there. And I was just on the phone. I was like, oh shit, that's Tech-9. And he was looking around like waiting for somebody to notice him. And I just walked out.
You know Tech-9 follows our page, right?
He walked towards me like and looked at me like, yo. And I'm like, oh, what's up, bro? Just kept going. And it kind of made me sad.
We're never gonna get this Tech-9 interview. He follows the page and everything. I'm gonna chop this clip up.
You can chop it up. But I just want to say, I mean, I love Kansas City and I love the artists, but I feel like not enough niggas got the love, bro, to really put the city on like that, man.
Not to the extent to where the whole country would be excited about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Chicago is different because everybody in the country was excited about what's happening in Chicago.
Exactly.
Whether it be good or bad.
And it was horrible.
Yeah, most of it was horrible. Like, and it's funny because
horrible shit.
With Lil Durk going down last week and possibly never getting out.
But do you know why though? Do you know why he's going down like how he is?
Yeah, he tried to hire somebody to kill somebody.
Allegedly, Joe.
Allegedly. Murder for hire, allegedly.
But do you know why? Like, it's as crazy as it is. It's federal, bro. You flew niggas out.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
And he was trying to flee the country too.
Yeah.
State lines in a state that does the death penalty and the 3 strikes rule, nigga. Like,
the party's about to die.
It's done.
And that's always been like the bittersweet aspect of when we talk about Chicago and the Chirac scene and the 2012 to 2015 is like when you look at that scene, man, that scene had so much potential because there were a lot of talented rappers in 2012 in Chicago when that shit was popping.
Yep.
But a lot of them didn't make it out. A lot of them either died or went to jail. Like L.A. Capone died. Rondo No. 9 went to jail. Fucking Little Durk's going to jail now. Little Reese has been shot numerous times. Was it Tato? Chief Keef's cousin.
G Herbo.
G Herbo made it out. But even he going through a little legal issue.
Bibby.
Lil Bibby. Luckily, he became a manager. Chief Keef.
Yeah.
It's just kind of crazy to look back and just realize like Chief Keef, G Herbo, and like Lil Bibby are the only ones that really made it out alive. Everyone else is either
is there an equivalent that we can like equate this to like
another time?
Yeah.
That was similar to this?
Yes. Where most of, if not majority of the artists of that era made it out, quote unquote.
You're talking about like a city or
maybe even a region.
I would say this one isn't as well known, but if you were like following it during the time, you could kind of like pick up on what's going on. And then Tony Yayo's talked about it a lot in Vlad TV interviews as of late. But the mid 2000s in New York was really a hot time for like 50 Cent and New York rappers, 50 Cent specifically, because 50 Cent was low key in a gang war with Jimmy Henchman, who was also the guy that got Tupac set up in Quad Studios.
Okay.
And so there was like a very quiet street war going on between 50 Cent's G-Unit crew and Jimmy Henchman's crew. And they were actually going to try to kill 50 Cent at his video shoot for the Curtis album. But
allegedly?
Nah, the reason
it's been proven?
It's been proven in court because the shooters testified against Jimmy Henchman.
Okay. All right.
And they said the only reason it didn't happen because the guns jammed on the drive-by.
Yeah.
But that's how close they were. But you never knew it because it was very quiet. Like 50 Cent knew how to move in a way that kept him out of trouble. It also kept him safe.
Yeah.
And so like when Prodigy got arrested by NYPD and then ended up going to jail for a year, he got a year and I think a year or 4 in jail because he wouldn't rat on 50 Cent. Like when they arrested him for that gun charge, they said, listen, if you just give us some info on 50, we'll let you go. And he said, I'm not doing that. So they gave him like a year or 4 years in prison for that. It's like
maybe that Virginia era.
Hip hop police was like really trying to get 50 Cent in the 2000s.
You know, the NERD, Timbaland, Missy.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean, they weren't caught up in like no gang shit or anything that was dangerous where like their lives could be taken at any moment.
Not no gang shit, but just in terms of like an era where a bunch of people are coming from the same spot and they're just going hard, popping off.
Yeah,
Multiple different artists from the same area, region. You know what I mean?
yeah. I don't.
Sean talked about that too. Like music is not really regional anymore. You know?
I think
I think
it's still really regional in Texas. Texas holds on to that, and West Coast.